Welcome. Let's talk about Philly Area Gaming Expo, what I'll be doing there and how we can meet up. Now, Philly Area Gaming Expo, Page, it's this fast-growing convention just outside of Philadelphia. They're going into their third year. It's got really strong support for ShadowDark. I'll be running some ShadowDark games there, and if you enjoy my channel, you're going to the convention, why not play in one of my games? I love to meet people. So I'll cover the details of what I'm doing there. First, quick disclaimer, I'm a fan of this convention, but I'm not an organizer or a volunteer. So down in the description to this video, I'll actually post a link to the official conference website. That's where you could go to get badges, sign up for events, take care of all the official stuff. All right, let's dive in. So about my Page experience last year, I mentioned Page has really strong support for ShadowDark. Last year, they had about 50 5e events and 30-something ShadowDark events. This year, there's 110 5e events and almost 90 ShadowDark events. The Arcane Library will be there the whole time. They're sponsoring some kind of 4-day mega event with Dwarven Forge. They'll have a presence in the vendor hall. I'm sure Kelsey Dion would be there, signing books or signing autographs and things like that. I had a great time last year. I ran 3 different ShadowDark games. One thing about Page I noticed, there's a high ratio of game industry professionals to conference goers. So there were a lot of people from Wizards of the Coast, ex-designers, from TSR, people working in the game industry, YouTubers who talk about games. In fact, I sat in on a conference seminar with some YouTubers who are kind of connecting the dots on how to get started on YouTube. That's what inspired me to make this channel. So if I didn't go to Page this past January and sit in a seminar, I wouldn't be here talking to you today. And, talking about the professional game designers, in 2 out of the 3 games I ran, I had a game industry professional just sitting in, wanting to learn how to play ShadowDark. So I met Rich Baker that way. I met Ed Stark. This feels like a really special convention. So let's talk about what I'm doing next year. All right, so I've got this homebrew setting. I've been working on it since 2011. I've run it under different game systems. I started converting it to ShadowDark last year. And so I ran 3 game sessions in the Black City in January at Page. I'll be running 3 different ones next year. Imagine this ruined city in the frozen north. It's discovered by Vikings. It's filled with the undead. It's got weird alien stuff, cosmic horror. That's the Black City. There's ruins on the surface. There's like subway type tunnels underneath the city connecting different dungeons together. And then a huge mushroom cavern underneath that filled with different warring kingdoms. Next year, I've got 3 adventures scheduled. The first one, Ice Dragon's Lair. It's kind of inspired a bit by The Hobbit. I haven't reread J.R.R. Tolkien since high school. And this past winter, I was like, yeah, I've got to get to this again. I think I got lazy just watching all the Peter Jackson movies that had been out. So I reread The Hobbit, all of the Lord of the Rings, just finishing Return of the King. The Silmarillion's next. Ice Dragon's Lair, there's always been like a frost or white dragon in the city, but this adventure is really targeted at low-level characters who have the potential to sneak in and around a dragon's lair and see what they can escape with. Warrens of Decay, that's like a mid-tier adventure. It takes place in that giant mushroom cavern underneath the city, so it's like an underground hex crawl. And then the last one, there are places in the city that have been locked for like 1,000 years. One of these is the Citadel of Thaumaturgy. You take on the role of high-level characters who have the key. Now, unfortunately, that one, people who had like special badges, who had early access to events, that one sold out like already. And so that triggered an idea or an offer or a challenge perhaps for viewers. So imagine this. I imagine that there's these 2 universes of people, the small number of folks who have actually watched one of my videos or view my channel, and then the much larger number of folks who are actually going to Page 3, and these circles don't touch. but maybe we can change that. So here's the thing. Consider this, I don't know, an offer or a challenge. If you're a viewer here and you're going to Page and you want to play in a high-level ShadowDark game, drop a comment. If I see enough between here and like October, because I think by October or before October, I can still submit an additional event to Page. I will submit a second instance of that Citadel of Thaumaturgy adventure because I love running and playing high-level games too. I could probably drop a second event either on Friday or Sunday and then post here on the channel that it's up so folks have a fair shot of registering for it. If you see this video between now and I guess late September, drop a comment like, I'm going to Page, I love ShadowDark, and I want to play in some high-level ShadowDark. I'll go ahead and register another instance of that adventure and give more people a chance of doing it. All right, that's it for today. I'm a big fan of this convention. Next year looks like it's going to be great. I'd love for the chance to do some gaming with people who've watched my channel, who are also interested in ShadowDark. So let's see if we can make that happen. I'll be back again soon with something useful, another video. This is just a short one talking about Page and what I'll be doing there. All right. See everyone next time.